don't know. Say the world just don't know. Say the world just don't know. But they will soon know. Let's rise to the full. There's no bull. This is how I feel. Listen close between lines. I be spitting what's real. Say the world just don't know. But they will soon know. This is the anthem for those who stay peace amidst the ruckus. God sends us what we can handle, and look where He stuck us in the belly. New York, love it and hate it. Yeah, beware of my personal space. Trespass if you dare. This happy song become a nightmare. But now I'm chilling with you.
However, the way the reading is set up, it really needed to be pre-recorded. Only because the spirit, the energy was just very specific. They had me lay out the cards in a certain way, and I just can't do the reading without you really being able to see and hone in on the layout. And my face and my body wasn't really necessary for this. I mean, not saying it's necessary for other readings, but in this case, they really preferred that all focus is on the trees. So my name is Amina, and I speak for the trees. And I'd like to have a word, if you please. I'm sorry, I was fiending to say that all day. I swear, since I started channeling them. Only people who have seen the Lorax will get that. Alright. But, yeah. If you haven't seen the Lorax, you should read the book by Dr. Seuss. It's really important at this time. So, I'm going to get right into it. Let me sage really quick. Y'all know how I do. Prepare for this energy that's already here. Very gentle, soft energy. Like, it's nurturing, Mama Nature-ish. I love the trees. The energy of the trees are like so strong. And yet, so soft. I don't know if you can understand that. How someone or something can be very resilient, very strong, very powerful. Just so gentle. You know? So, I have a little message. And then a reading. And then maybe we'll do 4 grounding breaths just to connect to the planet to wrap everything up. All right. So we start with the message from the trees. Let's get into it with Amina. I feel very playful. That's the energy I have too. I'm into dealing with this vibration. It's like a playful lightheartedness. A go with the flowy type of energy. But if you look at the trees, they bend and they sway and they go whichever way the wind blows. And I think that's a little bit of how we need to be too. Get into the flow. Okay, it's fairly early, so I'm trying to tone down my hyperness. Those of you who have been watching me since the full moon in Aries energy has taken over the planet, y'all know I'm an Aries already, so y'all know that I've been kind of like hyper lately. So today you might hear my son. He's up. He's always up at the crack of dawn, like hello. Everybody else is asleep. I don't want the rest of the army to wake up, so I'm trying to keep my energy down, and I also don't want to attract him back here. Like, what's going on? You know? So, I'm trying to keep... Okay. So, here we go. Before I started this channeling, well, in the midst of it, I wrote about the trees, which I'm going to read you a little something really quick of what I was feeling. And when I started to write the message, I felt one of my friends. In fact, I felt two of them. There are two that I tend to always channel whenever I'm dancing with the ancestors. Now, when I go within and I do meditation or visualizations of calling in my ancestral army, my grandparents are always there. I see my uncle, my Uncle Jerry. I see so many entities that I don't recognize. I see friends. But whenever I'm specifically dancing with the ancestors, there are two who always come through. That's my dear, dear friend, Derek Ties, and a very dear friend, as well as ex-love of mine, Kwame Azaleas Ross. And they're both dancers, so that could explain it as well. But today I was listening to something that was giving me encouragement on YouTube. And as I was listening, they were saying that I had a friend that possibly passed on that was like trying to usher in great things for me. And they were just smiling because they could see what's coming. And they're like so excited for me to receive. And the first face I saw smiling was my friend Kwame. There's my son's confirmation. And it brought tears to my eyes. I mean, I was smiling, but I was crying. Because it's that realization that spirit lives on. Me and Kwame had a deep bond. It was very private. A lot of people did not know about it. I met Kwame Azaleas Ross. I have to give a background history because a lot of people don't speak about the ancestors unless they're like mourning. But I'm going to talk about him very briefly so you can understand this connection. I met Kwame Azaleas Ross when I was very, very young. I had to be a teenager. I had just got introduced to Ames of Mazawe Cultural Arts Center on Sutphin Boulevard in Queens. And he was teaching a Haitian dance class, which I'd never taken in my life. I was more of an African dancer, ballet, tap, interpretive, modern, jazz, little hip hop, but Haitian dance I never done. So me and a former friend of mine, we went to take the class, and it was nice. And I actually ended up being attracted to one of the lead drummers for the class. So we're outside the school, and I'm telling my friend, like, yo, I like the guy that had on the red shirt that was playing the drums, yo, this. I'd never really seen, besides one drummer, I grew up watching this drummer, Andre Henderson. He was probably the youngest guy I ever saw drumming that could play, This guy could play. And I was like, wow. He's in my age range. So my friend goes to hook it up and finds out the teacher liked me. Kwame was the teacher. At the time, I saw him as older. He's teaching a class. You're older than me. I was like, he's too old. He was like, I am not too old. You don't know how old I am. And I was like, oh shit. But at that time, I was into drummers, and I was a dancer, and drum and dance are married. So I said, I like him, and I went for the drummer. That was a mistake. The drummer was still kind of young and in player mode. Granted, he didn't play me. We barely got our relationship off the ground, but that's neither here nor there. Fast forward years later, I'm an adult. I run into Kwame and we've ran into each other between, here and there in classes, shows since that time, but not really to conversate or talk. Just like, hey, how you doing? So this time we're at the New York conference, Maimuna Keita conference. And I'm outside hanging out like I usually do between classes, after class. I may have been after after class this specific day. And Kwame's like, hey, you live in Queens, right? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you want to ride home? I drove. I said, hell yeah. So we end up riding home together. And on this ride, he starts to play this music. And I said, is that Diane Reeves? And then he looked at me and was like, oh, you know Diane Reeves? I said, oh, yes, I do. I listen to her all the time. And then he was like, oh, well, then, hey, he turned it up. We were singing, driving. And from there, it was like a bond sealed. How music could bring people together. And we talked about plans we had. And we decided we wanted to do this conference that, we were inspired by the Maimuna Keita conference, but we felt like Queens needed something, Queens, New York. So we started meeting up, and my sister Tisha would come. We would meet up every day, just about, at USA Diner. Rest in peace, USA Diner. It's closed, I heard, finally. But it was a 24-hour spot. It was usually an after-date spot. And we would meet up there every day. We would eat. And we would discuss the conference, who we wanted to teach, what classes we wanted to have, where we were going to have it, what were we going to call it. And then eventually, it started to become a personal meetup, whereas Kwame would just call me and be like, yo, I need you. I need to talk to you. And we would just link up, and we would go out and get a drink. And he didn't smoke, but, we would hang out in his house. And then it started to turn deeper into more of a love relationship. And I never really talked about this because when he passed away, our relationship was weird at that time. When I started talking to Kwame, I was between relationships when we became, lovers. And he was always like against the guy I was with, who turned out to be the father of my 3 youngest. And he's like, oh, that young guy, and he's young, and you need someone mature, and blah, 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 blah. And I used to be like, don't worry about him. I'm not even with him right now. You keep bringing him up. And eventually he let me know that he was not well, which he didn't tell me right off jump. And he had diabetes. So he had a lot of issues, and he always felt comfortable around me with things that would be happening with his bodily functions, and to just tell me, and to me it was nothing. You're human. And the meds he had to take, and we would still go out and eat food that he knew he wasn't supposed to be eating, and I'd be like, Kwame, why are you eating that? Ugh, okay, but we used to have a good time. And he was also a priest, a Yoruba priest. So one day he brought me downstairs to his shrine to give me a reading. And the reading told him he was supposed to be my godfather, but he could not be because of the feelings he had for me. So he would try to help me in the ways that he could. He would tell me I shouldn't be smoking weed and things like that. And I used to be like, I have a Rasta spirit. I am going to smoke. I've been clean for months now. So, yay me. I'm sure he's smiling about that. Like, where's the Rasta? See, you could be a Rasta energy and not be a pothead. At least not a everyday pothead. But, that's neither here nor there. So what happened to me and Kwame was he decided he wanted to go back to New Orleans. He wanted to go to where his parents were. He didn't explain to me why. It felt random. I'm just gonna move. I'm moving. I'm selling my house. And I was like, why? Why are you doing this? I don't get it. I ended up getting back with my ex once he started talking about he was moving. And I remember one night he came to my apartment and he was calling me. He was like, I'm downstairs. It was Christmas Eve. And he was like, I need you. I need you now. I need you. Please come downstairs. And I was like, it's Christmas Eve. Call me, I can't come downstairs. It's like, no, I'm not going to be able to do that. My mother's going to look at me like, what are you doing? And, you know, she takes those things seriously. It's family night. Please, I need you. He's leaving me messages. And I refused to come down. So I felt like he did a tit for tat. I asked him for a spiritual cleansing. Not too long after that, I said, before you move, well, could you make me a cleansing? And he made it very difficult for me to get it. Well, first of all, you got to go get the stuff, and this is what you're going to need, and this is the botanica you go to get it. And I was like, well, what kind of priest does that? You're supposed to make it for me. I'm not supposed to go get my stuff. Then after he goes, a couple of weeks go by, he's like, all right, I did it. You have to come get it, and I'm moving and I'm leaving tomorrow. It was like some weird date, like I'm leaving. And I was just like, I can't get over to you to get it, Kwame. I don't have a car. I don't have that access to just get up and come get it. Mind you, in the back of my mind, I'm not thinking he's really gonna up and leave. Next thing I know, I message him again one week, and I'm like, okay, like, when can I get my cleansing? And he's like, I'm in New Orleans. I moved. I said, really? You didn't give me my cleansing. He said, well, I told you to come get it, and you took too long, and oh well, I'm going now. And that hurt my feelings. I felt like he abandoned me. I felt like he didn't give me the courtesy of saying goodbye. And I guess in his heart, he felt like, well, I came by and I told you to come downstairs when I needed you, and you didn't come when I needed you. So now I wasn't there when you needed me. And I let him know that I was angry about that. I said, you left me, you didn't say goodbye, that was fucked up, and we had all these plans. And we didn't speak after that. About a month, maybe a couple of months later, I get message that he passed away. So this is why these two friends, especially, because even with Derek Ties, we lost contact. We didn't end on bad terms, but we lost contact. And then I was called and told he passed away, that he had been not well. But with Kwame, it was painful because it wasn't just a friend, it was someone I was in love with at one point. And it took me some time to get over that passing. And one day I was meditating in the bathroom, and he like literally came to me. Like I could see him in my mind's eye. And he was like, girl, I'm good. We're good. You know, I forgive you if you forgive me. We was both petty. I still love you. Shine on. Don't carry this. And I started crying so hard. And I just had to share that backstory for you to understand why, when this message of encouragement came through and said it was from a friend that was possibly an ex and all this stuff, I was like, oh my God. And I saw him and he was smiling. And it just made me cry again, because the power of the spirit is just so deep. And even though I didn't get to hug him again or say I'm sorry in his face, I still feel like we made our peace. And I don't want to get emotional. But I know that he and my friend Derek Ties, they both, those light energies hang out with me and look out for me and bring me many opportunities to shine. And they cheer me on from the other side. And one day I will do that conference, and it will be in honor of those two brothers. Just like when I write my books, it's in honor of my grandfather, which is why I use my mother's maiden last name and my father's last name. And I I do my big things in dance, I'm going to dedicate it to them. Derek Ties, because he was a force with bringing the performing arts to the youth. And Kwame, because he was just a force in the dance world. If you ever seen him dance, you'd understand. You can Google him. I'm sure there's footage and stuff online. He's very popular and known in the community. So that's my story. That's where my energy went before the message from the trees actually came through. And that's how I know that so many of these trees are ancestors. So many of them. So, their message was simple and brief. Think of the children. Love the earth. It's the legacy you leave them. Allow them to breathe pure air and drink clean water. Don't leave them a planet in distress. Heal the world. Teach the youth to take care of the earth, and even more of a mission for only a select few. Make sure they call on their ancestors. They should know they are in everything. Hug a tree. Walk in grass barefoot. Smile at the sky. Talk to the youth and listen. Listen to the birds. Acknowledge a butterfly. Kiss an elder's cheek. Be filled with gratitude. Become the force of light you're meant to be. But that starts with first seeing that you are in everything. Everything is a part of you. When you love yourself, you can better take care of the world. But if you don't understand oneness, that we're one, all things big and small, universe, then you will watch centuries of self-destruction reflect on the planet and the children growing in it, on it. Sorry. Today, choose one way to love on the planet. One way to guide a child towards loving their planet. One way to honor an ancestor. And one way to appreciate an elder before they pass on. This will be a catalyst to earth healing. Love is the key. Love is the medicine. It's that simple. So get started, light workers. Save the world. Now, the funny part is, that's the end of their message. But I had an opening I had wrote, and my story about my ancestors, or my passed on loved ones rather, kind of overshadowed it. But I'm going to read it very quickly, because it's also important. Trees are some of the most beautiful and awe-inspiring symbols of oneness, just being and release, as well as rebirth and resilience on the planet. As I meditated in preparation for this download, I was also reminded that trees provide oxygen, improve air quality, conserve water, preserve soil, support wildlife, and assist with the climate even. They are so underappreciated, used, abused, and yet still, they're here, serving humanity, serving the planet. And on that note, I think we are ready while we're reading from the trees. Welcome to the reading from the trees. I've used just about all tree cards here. It's about 4 tree cards, a sacred forest deck, so that's about 5, and 3 of the decks are hidden realms, portals, and things like that, in respect of today being 10/10, October 10th, which opens up a portal. A portal to me that feels like it's all about new beginnings. It's all about starting over. It's all about having faith and taking leaps that your passion drives you to take, knowing that the Most High has your back, that the universe has your back. So, on that note, we're going to get started. I have 4 piles here for you to choose from. I will admit, some of these tree decks I have not used. Some of them I have used maybe one time. So I may refer to the book for a few of those that I'm not getting, where I don't trust my downloads, because I do get messages as soon as I flip cards. However, sometimes I like to refer to the book when I'm not 100% familiar with the cards, because it gives an even more clear insight as to what the card's message is. Now, let me get my notebook. Where I did write down what each card is telling you, or the message of each card. Okay. So, let's start with the pile introduction. We're pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4. Pile number 1 is represented by this ladybug. So if you feel drawn to the ladybug, then your message is in pile number 1. Pile number 2 is represented by this bumblebee. So if you feel drawn to the bumblebee, then your message is in pile number 2. Pile number 3 is represented by this pretty pink butterfly. So if you feel drawn to this butterfly, then your message is in pile number 3. And lastly, pile number 4, which is represented by this little nest of birdies. If you feel drawn to this nest of birds, then your reading is in pile number 4. Now, I do want to say, I want you guys to take in a deep breath and try to choose one pile, because this message is pretty specific. Each card has a specific message. However, I will say this. Some of you, it may be necessary to pull on more than one. So at a max, I would say 2 piles at max. I would not suggest that all 4 of them be claimed. However, who am I to say? If that's what the energy or the spirit of the trees, our ancestors, drives you to do, then do that. Okay? All right. So we're going to get started. I'm going to start, of course, with pile number 1. Hey, pile number 1. So if you were drawn to this, this little ladybug here, this is your pal. You're a little lucky person. Ladybugs are lucky. I also feel like you're someone who's pretty resilient. Someone who people like the way you look. Someone that people don't see coming. Like maybe you look very cute. You look like someone that's usually underestimated, and then you open up your wings and they're like, whoa, and you're able to soar. That's the spirit I get from my pal ones. You're like a magical surprise. Very lucky, very much in tune with the universe and nature, and beautiful. I also get a nurturing energy from you, and sensitive. Okay? Now, Gateway to Unseen Realms. Initially, I was going to have each pal represented by one of the cards from my homemade deck. Don't laugh at my drawings. It's all about how to use the power of portals to navigate your journey forward in life. But what I've decided to do instead is, as I introduce each pal, I'm going to shuffle the cards and draw a card right then and there. That card will be placed on the side and read last, along with the other advice card at the bottom of this pile. So I'm going to shuffle. Let's see what we get for pile 1. Okay, this is popping up. Okay, so your card is Trance Dance, Freeing Your Spirit. And we will read the message on the back of this card. Let me see, where can I place it? I want it where I can see it. Let me move these up. That's what my crystals are here for. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, and we'll read what the message is on that card last. So, the first card in the deck is from the Tree Angel Oracle deck. And this message is, what is special about you that has been hidden but is rising to the surface now? And you have the Black Thorn card. It really still feels like something hidden. Something that in the midst of the shadows brings a light. Gives birth to beautiful things. So I'm going to look in the book and see what else we get about this tree angel of the Black Thorn. Okay, Blackthorn is a guardian, a keeper of the shadows, just as I was saying, and holder of the darkest secrets. Now it is calling to you. It is time to take heart and walk toward the black door. The angel of Blackthorn will give you the strength that you need to enter the shadow world. Over the past few centuries, Blackthorn has been confused with demonic forces, but this could not be further from the truth. It is the Blackthorn that holds these forces at bay. Only a completely pure being could stand beside the dungeon's gate without being harmed. Remember, these are the things that are special about you that are rising to the surface now. Okay. The call of the Blackthorn is always urgent. It indicates that you are on the threshold of a journey into the depths of your own shadows, and your inner demons will seek to cloud your vision. But the blessings of this tree angel give you the courage to look into the mirror of your soul. The angel protects you, allowing you to share in its purity and innocence. You can choose whether to make this journey with or without the aid of a friend or therapist. This angel's message is that a turning point has been reached. You can no longer ignore whatever you have tried to sweep under the carpet. The Blackthorn promises inner victory, and the signs are looking good. Nothing can harm you as you journey with your light into the shadows, bringing healing and forgiveness to old wounds. There is no need to fear evil. The only risk is that if you do nothing, your faults, weaknesses, the dark aspects of your soul, and so on will be caught in the shadows for longer, trapping your precious life force in a dark prison and holding it in limbo. Blackthorn helps us to bring light where there is darkness. Without it, darkness grows. It serves the balance of power, and without this gift, we lapse into lies and deceit, cowardice and cruelty, resulting in perversion and inhumanity. The Oracle of the Blackthorn. The worst dangers in the world are hidden inside you. Be aware of your shadow. Fear is its only source of power. Let your heart glow, clothe yourself in white light, and heal the wounds. Deep. I said light in the dark. It's exactly what I felt. We're going to keep that center. I love when my channel, my gut messages come through and they on point. All right. The next card is from Using the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle. And this one says, it's going to tell you which tree is connected to you and how is it blessing you at this time. So you are connected to the cedar tree. This is the cedar of Lebanon in specific. So how is it blessing you at this time? I don't know why I feel a peace when I look at this tree. But let me see. I'm not going to take any guesses. All right. Because that's just what I felt. A peace and a sense of a new beginning or guidance of some sort. All right. The message of this tree. Humans have respected and worked with me for millennia. They use my wood to make their temples because they recognize that I can give them spiritual strength. Let me help you to become rooted in your own spirituality. So that's how it's blessing you at this time. It is bringing you peace of mind and the opportunity to delve deeper into your spirituality. So a form of spiritual growth, I feel. All right, your next card is from the Celtic Tree Oracle. And this card is telling you, what's something headed your way that will make you emotionally overjoyed? Cold Grove. You have two cards here with paths. Make me think of journeys. This is possibly a spiritual journey. This one just feels like a journey towards joy, bliss, happiness, sacred space. Just a lot of peace. It looks like your gift here that's rising to the surface is your ability to go into your shadows and still maintain your light. But how you're being blessed and what's rising to the surface is the fact that you are light, that you've spiritually grown, and that you're about to get blessed with joy. I feel like joy is what's headed your way. So I'm going to go to the book for the tree card to get you more clarity. And I just noticed this is 12 and this is 21. So 1 2 1 2 2 1 or 2 1 1 2, or just the numbers 2 and 1 may be appearing a lot for you and mean something. 12 or 21. Okay. Cold Grove. Its totem is angels and guardian spirits. So the key words of this grove are knowledge, silence, meditation, prayer, initiation, everything that sounds just like this, the same journey. Mystery, the temple, source, divinity, loved ones, and animals who have passed over. Deities, guides, universal intelligence. Okay. While Cold Grove represents the most important holiday in the Celtic cosmology, the day which falls on October 31st or April 30th and marks the end of the Celtic year. Other names for this celebration are All Hallows, Hallowmas, and Halloween, which we are coming upon soon. So Halloween may hold significance for you. Either you love the holiday or that holiday is going to bring about a great change. It's going to bring something your way that's going to emotionally fulfill you or have you very happy. All right. When you receive the Grove in a reading, you are asked to reconnect to what is spiritually meaningful to you and to give your gratitude. This is the time to consider the sacred and connect with spirit or source. Take time to sit in silence and review your year. Listen for messages from the ancestors. Meditate, contemplate death. The Celts readily make space for the dead and believe they sent healing, guidance, and support for the living. What messages are they sending you? Remember that these beings are your support team and that you are loved and cherished. Perhaps your relatives were limited within their personalities while they were alive, and your history with them is not that positive. In spirit, however, they are open to a greater sense of wisdom and love to share with you. The grove represents your community. Spend time with like-minded others in ritual and ceremony. Reconnect with your source together in celebration and with gratitude. Do you have a place that is sacred to you? Do you have a spiritual group or temple, grove, center, or church that is meaningful to you? Do you have a spiritual practice that supports you? What spiritual lineages have relevance for you? It is time to seek answers to these questions. If you have no answers, it is time to include the spiritual within your life. Explore what has true meaning for you. It is time to develop a spiritual practice. Both of these cards are telling you it is time that you're going to be spiritually growing at this time. So what's headed your way that will make you emotionally overjoyed is your attachment to spirit, your union with the divine, your spiritual growth, your leveling up, your connection to the deities, the angels, your totems, your guides. Interesting. Now, the next card comes from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And this card will tell you, how can a current troubling or challenging situation be resolved? We have the Map Maker of Destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration, and free will. So what I'm getting is, any situation right now you may be facing with that could be troubling or challenging, it simply takes you to set your focus on what you want to do and plan the way towards it. If the purpose that you are filled with is filled with good intentions, you will receive the inspiration necessary to create the way around any obstacle or challenge towards your destiny. The next card comes from Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. No, it does not. Wait a minute. I skipped something. Sorry. This one comes from the Sacred Forest. Sacred Forest Oracle. And it will answer, how are you spiritually being upgraded at this time? Wow, you're transcending. You're rising above, getting through and over any obstacles. So there's your answer. How are you upgrading at this time? Your upgrade is that you are being given wings. You're being given a gift that will help you transcend all things. Nothing will be able to hold you back. Nothing will be able to keep you grounded unless that's where you want to be. But you're meant to soar. You're meant to fly. You're meant to rise. Take time to meditate. This power meditation is very important for clarity. Looking at things from a higher perspective, stepping away from drama and emotional manipulation of others and from others. You're on a pilgrimage of the soul. It's time to transcend the weight of earthly burdens. Fly over situations that have been pulling you down. Don't involve yourself in that bullshit. When you remember that you have come from spirit and are eternal, challenging situations will resolve. A huge transformation is at hand for you right now. Amazing, amazing, amazing power. And now from The Gateway of Light activation. And I'm not introducing each of these cards every time, so I hope everybody paid attention to what cards they are. I will, however, tell you what they are answering. This one, the Gateway of Light activation, is answering what portal you are activating or is being opened for you at this time. My power ones, you have the portal of the divine matrix. Wow. Interconnectedness, synchronicity, coincidences. Oh no, God incidences, it says. So you, right now, the portal you've opened is you are just going to feel like you're in sync with the universe, just connected to all things, exactly what the trees want. You're going to be having situations occur that the divine put in your path, and it's going to be miraculous in that it's going to be a God incidence, not just a coincidence like, whoa, it just happened that way, where you relied on luck. It's going to be more of a situation where it's like God put that in your path because that is the only way, because the divine made it so. So you are stepping into the divine matrix and out of this 3D, where you're going to be having experiences that are out of this world. I'll tell you now, you're going to be having experiences that are going to feel like, I don't know how to describe it other than to say miraculous, because that's what the divine matrix to me brings. You are in alignment with the oneness of life. And isn't this what the trees were just saying we needed to be? Everything is connected. You are connected to the inner workings of the universe. Everything that was, is, and ever will be is connected by an invisible bond of energy uniting every living being from the past, present, and even future. And every great mystic over the ages has understood that. That means that you are greatness expressing itself. Not one thing in your life has happened by chance. Even when you felt that things have been against you, a process has been unfolding, helping you understand your connectedness to all things. So there's no need to feel insignificant or lonely. It's also important to remember that the universe is always working in your favor and for your highest good. You may have felt lost, but know that nothing is ever lost, for we're all held in the heart of Source, and love is our connection to all things. Oh my God, if this reading right here isn't the culmination of exactly the message the trees were trying to give us, or did give us, rather, I don't know what else to tell y'all. This is just the epitome of exactly what the trees' message was for the world. All right, I'm going to give you your advice now. Your first advice comes from The Forest's Edge, my homemade deck, and it says, grow. It's time to level up. Come out of your cocoon. So this is a new beginning, and you just got so many confirmations that you are spiritually growing. This is just more inspiration to do it. Just grow. You've been in the cocoon for long enough. Now it's time to level up. And your last bit of advice, trance dance, freeing your spirit. So you do need to dance, my lovely power ones. Dancing will be a huge healer for you and portal opener for you. And the message says, close your eyes, feel the pulse of the universe beneath your feet. Spin like a chakra, arms open, like the petals of a lotus the sun greet. As you turn around yourself and back around again, calm your mind. Allow yourself to levitate to a state of freedom unknown to most of humankind. You got this card because you or someone close to you is holding something within that will hold you hostage until you ignore public opinions and free yourself. And on that note, my power number ones, I bid you peace and blessings. Remember to subscribe, like this if it resonated with you, even if it didn't, I like it because you love me, okay? And because I give you all that blessings that comes with being a part of my tribe. Love you guys. Later. Hey, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. If you're drawn to the number 2, I'm sorry, I'm nosy. There's people cleaning up outside my house. I've heard men's voices, so I had to check things out. I don't know what that's going to mean in your reading, but you got the bumblebee here that you selected. If you felt drawn to the bumblebee, my pal 2s, then I feel like you're very busy. Very, very, very busy. I get a lot of energy from you. It almost makes me want to talk fast and start getting through this really quickly because you probably got something else you need to do. My bumblebees, I feel like you are really learning something this portal. This portal is opening up for you time to breathe. I feel like maybe you don't rest or you don't stop for a minute and give yourself your accolades. You don't stop for a minute and say, wow, I did that. And this 1010 portal that's open today is going to give you the opportunity to stop and be like, yeah, I did that. I'm great. I'm dope. I could take a minute and sit right here on this little flower and rest for a second. But not for too long because we are in full moon in Aries energy. So, you got to keep moving, keep pushing, keep moving. All right. So let's start. Your first card is going to tell you what's special about you that's been hidden, that's going to rise to the surface now under this full moon. And you have cherry, the cherry tree. You know what's been hidden that's special about you that's going to rise to the surface? Just how, I want to say how light and full of joy and happiness and beauty you are, how authentic you are, how true to self you are, how much you give others the freedom to also be true to themselves. So I'm trying to get my light. Okay, there we go. So my cherries, I'm going to read to you what this card also entails. But I really get a carefree, enjoying life like energy from you. And maybe because people see you working so much, they assume you don't have a moment to breathe. You don't take time to have fun, to enjoy life. You're always working. And they don't realize that you are really a fun, loving person. And I think that's rising to the surface. Maybe you didn't realize it. Maybe you never gave yourself a chance to stop and enjoy what you worked for. There's a full moon up here too, so I feel this full moon is really, really helping with this portal. It almost looks like a portal opening at the top. Yep. The first sentence, the cherry is a tree of the moon. With its white flowers, dark bark, and deep red fruit, the cherry shows us the colors of the great goddess to whom it is dedicated. This card was originally reserved for the giant redwood from California. Wow, but the cherry, tiny in comparison, comes to us with an equally awesome task and one that is more relevant to us humans. So the message of this card, what is rising to the surface, is you must practice. You're going to be showing people how to practice loving yourself unconditionally. So you're going to be getting rid of the fear of being judged or condemned. You're going to be showing them you don't need to prove anything or do anything or be the best at anything. And I feel like this is also something you are that's special about you, but it's something you are grasping now. You don't have to work so hard. You don't have to do so much. You don't have to try to be number one or be the best at everything. Your soul has always been perfect, and it is the birthright of every being to be happy just with being. Isn't that what the trees do? They just be. You didn't manage to get something done today, or you made a mistake? Great. It is a part of life. Try again tomorrow. But today, praise yourself. Be honest. You deserve it. Speaking of rewards, the cherry highlights the sensual. A warm bath, eroticism, good food, a walk, visiting a close friend, a great movie, or just relaxing on a comfortable sofa. And you can choose the order in which you do all of this. Be good to yourself. Treat yourself to something. This is how to enjoy the cherry. And this is exactly what I was telling you, my little bumblebee. So I think this card was perfect, as what has been hidden in you is your ability to enjoy life. But now that's rising to the surface. Now it's rising to the surface. Let go of fear of rejection. Let love enter. Okay. Your next card is going to tell you which tree is connected to you and how it is blessing you at this time. The apple. You have such cute cherry tree, apple tree, like all of the sweet fruits. So you're connected to the apple tree. Now the apple tree is very popular, you know, and children are always seen picking from the apple tree. That's like a school trip. Kids always go apple tree picking or go to the apple farm. I feel like the blessing you're getting at this time is community. I feel like you're getting assistance. You don't have to do it all alone. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to support you. I also feel like good health is coming your way. I'm going to get you some clarity as well. Okay. I'm trying to find it in the book. I think this would be enough. Oh, there it is. I opened right to it and went past it. Okay, the apple message is, I grow in orchards and gardens across the world. I bear delicious fruit, and my spring blossom cheers you. On hot days, my leafy branches cool you if you sit beneath them. I share my bounty with you. This tree symbolized fertility in ancient Greece and other civilizations. It is also known as the fruit from the tree of knowledge, even though I don't think in a traditional sense it was. So they want you to know life is not always easy, but do not let fleeting problems rob it of meaning and importance. Don't hold on to anger or resentment because they will eat into your soul. Greet each day with a loving heart and an open mind. And the blessing you're getting is the ability to release any anger or resentment, to realize you are supported, you are loved. Keep your heart open and have the ability to, because your heart is open, you will wake up each day and start to feel better and better and better with each morning, rather than having to think of what do I have to do? What do I need to do? You'll be thinking, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is be, and that's enough. Your next card is something that's headed your way that will make you emotionally overjoyed. The Vegas Beach. 24, 34. Maybe 4s are relevant to you, my pal. 2s. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to find this in the book for you. Oh, so I just said 24 and then I was going to say, what number is it? Okay, so something headed your way that will make you emotionally overjoyed. You're going to receive some guidance, some kind of advice. Now, maybe you're not one who tends to take the advice or listen to the guidance of others. However, there's someone that's going to share some information with you, an elder of some sort, or a grandparent or a parent. They're going to pass some kind of knowledge on to you. Either it's going to come from them or it's going to come from a source in nature, in your environment. Pay attention, because if you don't, you'll miss vital information. But I feel like it's going to help you with a project you're working on. It's going to inspire and motivate you. It's also going to cause you to realize patience is a virtue. And you're going to feel supported. Maybe something in your work has you feeling shaky and uncertain. But this plant here, this leaf here, this tree offers strength and stability. So you're being given something that's going to give you a stronger foundation. Okay, some kind of wisdom. Maybe you're working on a project that takes a lot of effort to complete. Continue to work hard. Don't give up. Whatever you're doing, it's your soul work. All right? Connect to the energy of the beach. B-E-E-C-H beach, not the beach by the ocean. In order to call on strength and guidance. It's going to be the voice of your ancestors. Okay? Your ancestors speak to you through this specific leaf and tree. Well, some of them. And your ancestors are also a part of what you do. So they don't want you to be discouraged. They want you to ask for what you require, and they will be there to support you. So that's what's headed your way. And pile number 2, I forgot in the beginning of this reading, but we ain't that far in yet, to pull you an advice card from the Gateway to Unseen Realms. So I'm going to do that now. I just jumped right in. You see what I said, though? I said I picked up that B, and y'all vibration just felt like, hurry up and go. Busy, 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 busy. Okay, I'm going to take that because it just flipped over in my face. So you have Black Hole, the Portal of Mysteries Unknown. All right, and we'll read the message from that card at the end of the reading. So your next card, how can a current troubling or challenging situation be resolved? You have the Rainbow Prince, compensation and perseverance. So at this time, all of the answers are in you. Any challenge, any situation that seems to be troubling, it can be resolved as long as you don't give up. Persevere. Where you feel there's a challenge, you rise above it. I feel like with the Rainbow Prince, you have the ability to see the beauty in the chaos and in the storms, to know that they actually come to clear the way, to reveal another way. And you know that rainbows appear after storms, but you're able to pull in rainbows even in times of darkness because you're the light, or you're always able to find the light. And they want you to realize that you can always find a way around every challenge. You can always find a way. Persevere. That's all I keep hearing. That there's no challenge that can stop you. You're a freaking bee. You know what I'm saying? You got bee energy. Okay. And I feel like that may not have been the answer you wanted to hear, because everybody wants a solution. But they're leading me back to the beach. You're going to get a solution to something that's troubling you. And it's going to come from listening to your environment, to elders, to your parents, to something or person who carries great knowledge. And that's going to be where you find emotional fulfillment and happiness. At least in the current, under this 1010 portal. Okay. How are you spiritually being upgraded at this time? Standing stones, passage. Now, at the standing stones, I feel like it's portal. And maybe you're being spiritually upgraded at this time in that you are being shown different ways to connect to spirit. You've been given a passage. Maybe you've gone through an initiation and you passed it. And now you're going to be guided towards sacred spaces, sacred energies that will just open up new worlds to you. I'm going to look a little deeper into that card. Yep. A voyage of the heart and soul is ahead. This journey may be spiritual or physical in nature. In either case, it is a kind of sacred pilgrimage. Have courage. A great ship can stay safe in the harbor, but that is not what great ships are made for. Be willing to unfurl your sails and set forth to the open seas. The seas might be rough and the wind is strong, but you are safe and protected. The circle of stones takes you directly where you need to go. The spirit of the standing stone says, a sacred journey is ahead. Deeper meaning is waiting to be discovered. You are safe. So that's how you're being spiritually upgraded. Exactly how I said. You're being taken onto a spiritual journey where you're going to up level. Some interesting people in this reading today. Pile 1 is deep. Pile 2 is deep. It's going to keep going on and on. I know because y'all are light workers and y'all are part of my light tribe. So I don't know why I'm shocked. All right. What portal are you activating or is being opened for you at this time? Whoa. Star being healing codes. Your star ancestors are here. Important information. Wounds are healed. Recharging. You're activating a portal that's going to connect you to your star ancestors. Your connection to astral beings, whether you believe in it or not. And that could be where you get your knowledge from that's going to make you emotionally overjoyed. Is the passage that you're getting to be able to connect to this portal here. They're going to be sending you codes that are going to help heal wounds from your past. You're going to feel recharged under this 1010 portal. Stay open to downloads of information. Things that just come to you when you're in your moments where you feel challenged. Okay? Advice on how to use this energy for your benefit. Forest's Edge card says, Land of Fae Folk. If you believe it will come, wishes come true. So how to use the energy that this portal is bringing towards you? Believe and wish. And as you do that, you manifest everything that you want. And your last card of advice, the black hole, the portal of mysteries unknown. It just boggles me that this is all star energy and astral energy. It almost looks like this card here without the star ancestor there. And it says, many fear the unknown or what can't be seen, but you're one that trusts your guides to lead. For through the darkness, light may still beam, even brighter from your core, like an awakened seed. You got this card today because you may feel in a hermit or hanged frozen energy where no light can get in. You're being shown that the light is within, and in your darkest hour can always be accessed. It shines brightest in the dark. And on that note, my pal twos, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe and please like this if you resonated with it at all. If not, stay tuned. Otherwise, peace, blessings, and all that good stuff that comes from being a part of my tribe. Love you guys. Later. Hey, pal threes. So, if you were attracted to the number 3, or this pretty little butterfly, pink butterfly here, this is your reading. So, first off, I'm going to tell you, you have gone through a huge shift in energy. You've been going through a transformation. I know people always see the butterfly and they think transformation, change. This butterfly here been through that transformation. They've been through their change. But what is happening now that I feel for you with this portal opening is you are recognizing just how beautiful and powerful and wise you are. Maybe at one point you didn't feel like you knew very much. You said, I went through a transformation. I went through a change. I know that I need to let a part of me go for a new part of me to be able to surface. However, I don't really see this change on the outside. I feel it, but I don't see it. And now you're seeing it. You see your glow up. You see how more beautiful you are. Just because your insides are more beautiful, it's radiating on the outside. Just because you recognize this, it's even more beautiful. And others are recognizing it. Not that they matter, but that's what's happening. You're also starting to realize that all of your experiences equate wisdom. You're also realizing that other butterflies have information that you could benefit from as well. You don't feel like you're flying alone so much anymore. You feel like, you know, what's cute about this is there's another butterfly here waiting in the trees. You feel like I'm alone, but there are others like me. So when I need that as a resource, I know where to look, I know where to go. I'm calling in my soul tribe and those that are on the same path as me. Maybe they may be a few steps ahead on the journey. Maybe they may be light years ahead on the journey, but we're on the same journey. And so that makes them a resource for me when I need them. I can always call on their energy. And I feel like you're a butterfly who flies alone, but has a huge flock of butterflies just that are all in sync. You're all flying in the same direction, doing the same things, all connected, all vibing. I feel like you're on a major glow up, my pal threes. Major glow up. Okay, so before I even jump into that, I'm gonna pull you an advice card from the Gateway to Unseen Realms. It's gonna be the last card that gets read, but I pull it out first so that I can have its vibe sitting there through the reading. Okay. So you have the temple. A sacred space for the sacred. And we'll return to this card at the end of your reading. Okay, pal threes, let's get started. Your first card is going to tell you what is special about you that has been hidden but is rising to the surface now under this 1010 portal. Linden tree. I want to make sure you see the little angel in there, because this is from the Tree Angel Oracle. Okay. what's rising to the surface? I feel like you're getting grounded and balanced. I'm just looking at the way the hands, and it's number 11 card, which is a master manifestation. Why do I want to say manner? Master manifester. Like, manna. I don't know what that was about. Maybe you're very polite. But 11 may be significant for you, seeing a lot of ones. That also represents balance. The number 2, which is dual. I just feel like a yin and yang. I feel like what's special about you is your ability to balance divine feminine, divine masculine, maybe to even balance yin and yang. I just feel like you're very grounded and balanced. I'm going to get you some more insight for this card. All right, the Angel of Linden, which means lime. So maybe you like lime juice, is intimately connected with one of the human soul's most important sources of power. The universal desire to find equilibrium, to find true harmony through which all forms of life can thrive. It is for this reason that linden trees live to such a great age and why they are such powerful healers. It's also why they were traditionally the trees under which counsel was held and judgment given. Come to the spirit of the linden to tap into this deep and fundamental sense of harmony for yourself and for others and for animals and for the plants themselves. The more deeply you develop linden's ancient sense of balance, and I say balance, I'm always on point, the happier and calmer you will feel. It is not, however, to reach a place of rest, but is a constant striving on your own behalf to finally access a great power that is available to you. The forgotten power of the dragon. I love dragons. Dragons are symbols of the living energy of the earth and their blood, the invincible river of creation itself. The power of the angelic linden, and this is what's special about you as well, that's rising to the surface, is that you stand for social justice, dignified and humanitarian aims, and the impetus behind charitable work. So, what's rising to the surface for you is this just being harmonious. And people haven't seen this about you, that you are someone who is against prejudice, against conflict, abuse of any kind, and you are someone who likes to bring justice and harmony into situations. And that's what's rising to the surface. You are going to start opening up and talking more and speaking up more when it comes to injustices and things that you feel are not right. Now, your second card is going to tell you which tree is connected to you and how it is blessing you at this time. So you have the Acacia Tree. It's filled with birdies. But with the Acacia, I'm getting a sense of almost like family. Maybe some wounds in family are being healed. Maybe someone's going away, or I don't know. I just feel like something with family. I'm going to look into the book, but I have to tell y'all my initial feelings when I see the cards. Also, I want to tell you, I feel a connection to Africa. It just came to me. I don't know if you're going to travel there. I see a bird flying off and they have the same colors, red, yellow, and green. It just makes me think travel to Africa, or you need to, or you have a connection, or you're from there, or something to that extent. So something to think about. All right, the Acacia Tree. Let's get you a little bit more insight. The message of this tree. Humans have honored me for many centuries because they know that I offer them protection. Even in the harshest conditions, I am a symbol of the continuity of life. Trust that you are being given the support and protection that you crave, even if you are not aware of this yet. Your sensitivity is heightened at this moment. giving you deep insights into the world and people around you. So this is the blessing you're being given at this time. This was also, I didn't know this, an important tree in ancient Egypt, which can get, maybe that's the African connection I'm feeling. Its wood was used to make coffins, furniture, and boats. The sacred barge of Osiris at the Temple of Thebes was also made from acacia. Osiris was originally a nature god, but later became the lord of the underworld. The ancient Egyptians wanted to achieve life after death so they could be reunited with him. Wow. The acacia tree guarded the mummified body of Osiris while his soul embraced the universe. That's interesting. Maybe you want to look into Osiris as well. Okay. The next card will tell you what's headed your way that will make you emotionally overjoyed. I don't know how to pronounce this. Uliand honeysuckle. Well, it's a honeysuckle. If you can read that word. Uliand honeysuckle. So, what's headed your way that will make you emotionally overjoyed? I feel like some kind of sweetness in life. Something sweet. Something that's going to just feel like a treat. Like well-deserved. With this balance here, it just feels like something that is deserved. All right. A connectedness in family, in other people, being able to be sensitive to the feelings of the world and just bring justice and balance and harmony in everything around you. And just a taste of the sweet life. I don't know. I do know, but let me just check that out. Okay. This is Celtic Tree Oracle. So that's why some of the words I cannot pronounce. Okay. So, deities connected to this tree are Merlin, the crone or the hermit, and archetypes are medicine man or woman. Keywords are seeking, hidden, secrets, the lantern that lights the path, the need to protect something important, soul, discovery, bringing light to the darkness, hidden treasure, clarity, restoration, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Didn't I say like something sweet? Just, okay. So this represents the hidden secrets that you're meant to discover. So it's almost like there's something coming that's gonna make you overjoyed, but it's like a treasure that you have to discover. It's a part of your journey. Call on your spiritual guides. They'll help illuminate the way. You're on a path of enlightenment. Okay. When you get this in a reading, it says it has to do with the search for inner knowledge. Okay. It has to do with a spiritual journey. It encourages you to keep learning, expressing your true nature, and evolving. But it may also come to let you know, and this is what I'm feeling, that it's time for you to shine the light for others so that they too can look into the mysteries and discover the treasure of their inner lives. By offering encouragement and insight, you may bring light to others' darkness and empower them to embark on their own inner journey. So maybe working with young people, I'm feeling like that's the sweetness. That's what's going to make you emotionally overjoyed that's headed your way. Maybe you're going to get a group of young people you work with that you're going to uplift, that you're just going to feel like this is what life is all about. It's going to just bring a balance to everything you're doing, because this really gives me a family energy, kids, a community, discovery. Be willing to learn about and explore your own inner world as well. Okay. Although you may dig up hidden things that disturb you, you also bring light into the dark hidden places, and light brings the healing. You also reconnect with your own gifts and talents and empower your own expression. I feel like there's things that lie dormant right now that you have not been using, some gifts, some talents that maybe you're going to start using again, or you just started using again. Whatever the case may be, there's something coming that they're not fully revealing. I feel like it has to do with young folk or family, or even traveling somewhere, going off somewhere, moving, whatever the case may be. It's going to bring a balance to things in your life. I keep seeing a lot of this reddish energy, and the greens in here gives me root chakra and heart chakra energy. So a fearlessness and a openness to love. So be fearless as you explore your inner self, as you explore your gifts and your talents, because what's going to make you emotionally overjoyed is the blessings that come from doing that, from expressing yourself artistically, from working with younger people, and just seeking a balance in everything you do. If you give in one area, there has to be a balance in the other where you receive. Okay, you can't just give, or the balance will be knocked off. I do see travel. This bird flying away from the acacia, it just makes me think someone traveling. Okay, so that may be something that's hidden, that's rising to the surface. Now is your need to travel. You cannot stay stuck in the tree. All right. How can a current troubling challenge or situation be resolved? And you have the Shadow Queen. Acquiring knowledge, just said that. Insecurity and manipulation. So what I feel like this is telling you is the way to get around any challenge or thing that's troubling you right now is to face it. Face your shadows. Okay? You have the knowledge. Remember I said that butterfly there felt like it didn't know enough to do certain things or get around certain things. I feel like you are doing your work now. You've been doing studying. You've been reading. You've been listening. You may still hold a little bit of an insecurity, but you need to manipulate yourself into believing, into knowing that you have acquired enough knowledge to get through. Crystals will be very powerful for you. But right now you're going through a shadow period where you have to look at your dark side. You have to look at the things about yourself that you need to change. Otherwise, how can you change them? You may feel insecure in the process, maybe. But the only way to get through these challenges is to acknowledge them and face them head on, shine light on them, and keep moving forward. How are you spiritually being upgraded at this time? Wow. Stag spirit leadership. Stag spirit is very powerful, very strong. The way you're being upgraded at this time is spiritually upgraded is you are going to become a leading force when it comes to spirituality and guiding people towards the light. You're going to be, well, the stag is like a symbol of success, of good luck, of health and wealth to a lot of ancient civilizations where the stag existed. And I just feel like at this time, your insecurities are being washed away as you do your shadow work, and you are being upgraded into a role of leadership where you're going to find, maybe you've been following a mentor for a while, you're going to have your people you'll be mentoring soon enough. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing for you. Yeah, you will be mentoring as well. And you will be leading. I feel like you're getting an upgrade in confidence and your connection to the divine. It's almost going to be like when people see you, you see this essence around the stag, they're going to see that. You're going to see it. When you look in the mirror, you're going to feel it. And when you feel it, other people will feel it. And they're going to have no choice but to want to follow you to see, like, how did you get to this level? And in that way, you're going to lead. It's similar to something I was told once before, where I'm not really supposed to teach. I'm more so supposed to inspire. People see what I do, or I explain what I do, and that's my way of teaching, and inspires others to do the same thing. And I feel the same thing for this POW, for POW number 3. All right, what portal are you activating or is being opened for you at this time? Oh my goodness, another star seed POW here. Anunnaki light codes, energetic shift, new information, the end of a cycle. Wowzers. This almost gives me like Aries Ram. I don't know why I thought that. Maybe because we're in a full moon in Aries, but that's the vibe I got. I'm going to go to the book for this portal because it's deep, but you are going through an energetic shift, as I pointed out here, where you're getting upgraded big time. You're going from your shadows into the light. You're gaining new information, new knowledge. So don't doubt what you know, because you are very wise. That's coming to an end. That cycle where you're insecure, where you think you need to know more, you don't know enough about stuff to lead the way, that's coming to an end. That's the end of a cycle. Okay. My SD card does this weird thing where it decides I've recorded long enough and it shuts me off. Anyway, I'm back. I'll finish that for you. Okay. Those who had abused their powers and had not honored the divine or valued the great gift of life they had been given had to remain for the cataclysmic ending of their civilization. For that reason, some people who have had Atlantean incarnations may fear the Anunnaki, but be assured that they are beings of infinite light working for Source. This is the portal that's being opened to you at this time, okay? You are getting an energetic shift where you are connecting to these ancestral beings because you maybe once were one. And they are mixing their light codes with yours, which I feel like also is connecting to this balance and this harmony, because as you see, they were the judges of who was imbalanced and who was not. So your message, great change is coming to you, but this can only occur if you're willing to shift your perception. You may be experiencing resistance to change, but please know this is simply fear of the new, not intuition. If you are wondering what is the best course of action, the Anunnaki are encouraging you to go with the new. Okay. And that is their message to you. Pretty much the portal that's being open to you is new information coming in, new ways of doing things, new ideas. They want you to know you are a part of this new energy on the earth. All right. That's interesting. So let's go to your advice on how to use this energy to your benefit. You have fruits. Bless you, prosperity and love on the way. You will have sweetness in life. How many times did I say sweetness? And it's right here on this card. So just know that there's something really sweet. Really sweet. When something's sweet, it's just like, where you just feel like, oh yeah, that type of sweetness. You got bright sun coming up. This is like my card of joy in the forest deck. Bless you. You're being blessed. Money and love are on the way. What more can I tell you? How to use the energy to your benefit. You don't even have to do anything. It's just being activated for you. A cycle's ending and a new one is beginning. Embrace it. And your last card, which was the first, the temple, a sacred space for the sacred. And this card says, come, my battered spirit. Come sit by the sea, far from your troubles. Send prayers to the Almighty. Allow the breeze to carry your soul's pains away. Open up in this sacred space to a brand new day. You got this card today because it's time to go away and seek the portal of new sacred lands so you can be at peace and also get the new energy coming in for you. It's time to cleanse and then start anew. And I said over and over again in the beginning, something about going away, traveling. There's some place you need to travel to where you will find your sacred space. It'll be a place by the ocean, a place that you will want to go to often. And I feel that you will be flying there soon. And that's what I got for you, my Pal 3s. Please remember to subscribe and like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell so you get notified. And on that note, peace, blessings, and all that good stuff that comes from being a part of my tribe. Later. Hey, Pal 4s. Here we are with the final pal. Those who were attracted to these beautiful little lovebirds. I don't know why I said lovebirds, because initially when I chose this, I was thinking children, 2 little baby birds. But just now when I touched it, it said love. So I'm picking up a whole different story or message for you guys. My pal number 4s, this 1010 portal is opening you up to love. You've been doing some serious healing, and this crystal just jumped out at me. It just felt like all of my heart crystals are standing out. Like I need to bring them all around this here, because it just feels like you have done some serious heart healing. This portal right now is going to have you feeling so overwhelmed with an energy of just true love or a sense of love, even if you're not in love right now. If that's the case, you're just going to be feeling so loved, maybe by others, family, in business. Just a lot of love coming your way, and you deserve it. Don't shy away from it. I feel like you're someone who tends to like shy away from it when people turn their attention towards you. And you see how it's a nest? This is something you built. Oops. You worked for, you wanted this, you manifested it. So don't knock it down. Don't knock it. Don't think of it as, this is just a temporary little nest thing. No, this is your home. This is permanent. Whoever this love is, or whatever this love is that's coming your way, it is here for the long haul. This is very sturdy and strong. You see it fell, hit the ground. It's still good. Still good. So be ready and open to some love coming in. That's really what I'm getting. Here comes my son to confirm that. So before I go into your read, I pick your last card first from my homemade Gateway to the Unseen Realms deck. Wherever the hell that is. Where did I put it? That's crazy. Oh, I'm like, now that is weird. You guys, my pal number 4s, do not hide from what is coming in. You feel very much like somebody who has put a lot of effort towards calling in and connecting and just being one with the divine. And now that the divine has fully begun to give you all that you deserve and the attention that you deserve, you're questioning if you're worthy. You're questioning how long this is going to last. You're questioning if you should accept it, and if accepting it means you're not being humble. And get all of that out your head and just be open to receive. You played the humble card for a very long time, my pal 4s. You played the I don't know how long this is going to last card. And it's funny because I did a moon read and the same message came up. So I don't know if the same people who chose that pal chose this one, but it's a similar message of now that blessings are coming your way, now that you're getting shown the love that you've often shown others and was not getting reciprocated, now that it's coming back in, you're questioning it because of past wounds, past situations and experiences. And spirit is coming through. Your tree ancestors are coming through to tell you, cut it out. You deserve this shit. Fuck humble. Excuse my language, but fuck humble at this time. Right now, feed your ego. It deserves it. It deserves it. Your ego is taking quite a beat down. Quite a beat down to the point where you were no longer sure about yourself. And now you're being given the okay. Spirit is like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm hearing and maybe you should listen to it today. I think it'll encourage you. In my head, I'm hearing the Mary Mary song. Go get it, go get it, go get your blessings. Go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it's your time. Said it's your time. Go get your blessings. That's what I'm hearing for you. Play that song today. I think it'll amp you up. It just amped me up and now I want to play it. Okay. So let me get you your card. And it says angelic vocal and binaural connections. This has everything to do with music and sound. When source calls. And that's your last message. So we'll put that here. Okay, my Power Fours, y'all got me excited. So your first card is going to tell you what is special about you that has been hidden but is rising to the surface now. Oh, Larch. You know what's special and hidden about you? Is that you can be a part of a community of light workers and still be your own entity. You have a very personal connection to light beings, to angels, angelic energies. Very close personal connection. You're very in tune with your light body. You recognize that you are light. That's another song to listen to today, my Power Fours. India Ari's I Am Light. Listen to that song today. But you have a strong connection to nature as well. Just dance outside. If you ever get opportunity to dance outdoors, do it. I'm going to get you some more insight for that card. That card makes me smile too. Okay, where are we? Okay. The Larch is an extraordinary being. It combines great strength with magical grace and beauty. Larch brings light like a star fallen from heaven. Its gift to you is spiritual clarity, inspiration, and harmony with the laws of nature. Fairies, charming elfin beings that are well disposed towards humans and animals, were often glimpsed beneath the larch in the mountains, its natural habitat. Dressed from head to toe in silver and white, which may be colors that you might want to wear around this portal time, they would dance under the ancient trees and mountains, singing sweetly all the while. For whoever met them, it was an unforgettable experience. Larch tells you about unexpected help coming your way. Your newfound resonance develops your natural respect, and your kindness draws other beings and powers to assist you on your path. Your eyes will sparkle when you meet them. If we abuse the larch and continue to allow it to be felled, or herded together to grow in vast monocultures, disgrace and stupidity will follow. Ignorance and instability eventually lead to serious depression and feelings of emptiness inside. So when you allow people to doodle on you, it may have led you to feeling depressed, but what you don't realize is those people were unstable, and ignorant. All right. And they had nothing inside and they reflected their emptiness onto you. However, that's not what is coming to the surface right now. What's coming to the surface right now is your connection to the angels, the fact that you're extraordinary, and that your kindness and your kindness, your light and powers are like drawing other people to you as well as other light beings. Okay? Unexpected things are coming your way, and that's what's rising to the surface now that you could not see. The second card tells you which tree is connected to you and how it is blessing you at this time. You have the eucalyptus, which many of you may know of a eucalyptus plant, which has been used in teas for healing as well. So I do feel like one of the blessings you're getting at this time is the ability to heal, the ability to fix certain things that might be ailing you before it gets bad. Like maybe at this time, not saying you're sick right now, but maybe you have bouts with certain things. Maybe you have reoccurring issues at times. And what you are being blessed with through the eucalyptus tree is a sort of healing energy where these things are going to start to no longer affect you. Okay, or you're going to be able to find ways to heal yourself naturally. So the book says eucalyptus represents balance. And its message is, I am an ancient tree, but I have survived by adapting to my environment. I can show you how to live wisely and honestly by establishing balance in your life and in your attitude to the people around you. All right. So what they do want you to be aware of, though, this tree is asking you, are you being too cautious and careful about making right decisions? All right. So the blessing it wants to bestow upon you is the wisdom to, yes, you should weigh your pros and cons of every situation that you're in. Yes, you should. But they're giving you the wisdom to know when it is helpful or not. Because then you become anxious about certain things. And you lose spontaneity. So one of the blessings you're getting is the ability to just know and to go with what you know, rather than sit and contemplate and question and weigh options and all this other stuff. And while you're doing that, time is a wasting. Okay? Trying to see if there's anything else. The oil from this tree, they want you to know, is also excellent to inhale to ease congestion in your sinuses and in your chest. And the leaves have a powerful antibacterial quality. Okay. Also, the trunk is used traditionally to make a musical instrument. So everything with you is just tying into dancing, music, and sound. But the Didero, I can never pronounce this word good, but it's an Australian instrument. The Didgeridoo, something like that. I'm so sorry if I'm saying it wrong and you actually play it. But yeah, and you blow it, okay? And that's how you play it. It looks similar to this. They have it leaning here in the trunk. Similar to that. Okay. Your third card is something that's headed your way that'll make you emotionally overjoyed. We have Hazel. Call Hazel. When I look at the card, when I think of Hazel, I think of a bittersweet. I feel like something is shifting that is going to have a bittersweetness to it. Like something that just feels like, oh, that's sad that it's going that way, but it's great that it's going that way. Like that type of energy. Maybe, for example, say you're doing something now and you find yourself unable to do it anymore, but because you can't do that anymore, you're unable to do that anymore because you have a greater opportunity. So even though you loved what you were doing, you're happy still to leave it because you're going to something even better. But it's still a sad feeling of leaving it because it was great while it lasted. Same thing with relationships or friendships or anything of that sort where you're moving on to something better. And that's just a vibe I got. I'm going to go to the book now and tell you what the author intended. You may have a birthday between December 13th and January 10th, or that just may be an important time of the year for you. Or June 13th to July 10th. Totems are the tortoise and the turtle, crab, salmon, the hare, the scarab, which is an Egyptian beetle. Deities are Gaia, which is Mama Earth, the great mother goddess, Isis. They celebrate this a lot of December and June. So June 20th, 21st, December 21st, 22nd could be important dates for you. Okay, so the key words for this card are water, the moon, which we're in a full moon, bounty and abundance, intuition, wisdom, insight, knowledge, sage, advice, divination, poetry, creative pursuits, higher perspective, and clarity. And it includes the celebration of the summer solstice. But you know, the summer solstice takes place at different times around the world. When we're experiencing summer on one part of the planet, the other part is experiencing winter. So that's why you have December and June mentioned for the summer solstice around this here planet. Wow. Hazel is about compassion and love for our friends and families, as well as safety and protection, which are important aspects of mothering and maturing. Hazel supports our emotional life. She honors the moon and the waters of our planet. She supports creative expression in the forms of story, poetry, art, song, and dance. I swear, this power right here, you have got to be a performing artist of some sort. If you're not a writer, a dancer, a spoken word artist, a musician, singer, you do something. All right. If not, you need to tap in. Okay. So when you get this card in a reading, you have to make sure you're listening to your intuitive knowing, for one. All right. What is going to make you emotionally overjoyed that this card is showing you right now is that your connection to this moon, this full moon, is going to really seem intense right now. All right. So take some quiet time to tune in and listen for nurturing messages from divine feminine energies, maybe passed on of females in your family or women in your lineage, or just women you look up to through history. Take your intuition seriously at this time and find time to sit by water near your home, if you can, a lake, the ocean, a river, or a stream. And appreciate the cycles of life. Accept where you are right now. And don't try to push the river. Go with the flow. It's a time for gratitude and to honor the earth and notice the abundance all around you. A time for family and family reunion. A time for gratitude for all the mothers in your life. Especially if you require nurturing, cultivate friendships that could support you, nurture other people, mother each other with compassion. It may be time to heal the mother wound. Perhaps this is the time for forgiveness. If you are a mother, make sure you are representing the best qualities of this role. If not, move towards changing your behavior. Be the kind of mother that you would like to have yourself. Spend some time in nature and follow the course of the moon. Now, what is going to also bring you emotional fulfillment and overjoy is writing poetry, doing divination. If you don't read, you might want to get into it, and meditating. Okay? Pay attention to your dreams too and creative urges, because they're going to push you in. They're going to bring you emotional satisfaction at this time. I'm telling you. All right? All I'm seeing is creativity, creativity, creativity. Go within and ask your ancestors for advice on exactly what it is you should be doing, or just follow your inner knowing, because they're saying your intuition is very strong at this time, so you already know. But I'm feeling with that bittersweet that I tasted before in my mouth, that there's something creative you are doing now, or something you're doing now that may not be creative, that you're being offered or going to be offered a better opportunity, something greater, something bigger to express those creative talents within. You're going to end up leaving something behind to go towards this brighter future. And so it may feel like, oh, I don't want to stop doing that to go do this, but it's going to pay off in the end. All right, I just felt like I had to dwell there. Okay, how can a current troubling or challenging situation be resolved? You have the web weaver, a lot of white. Synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. So I feel like you can resolve any challenging situations by looking at how everything fits together. Okay, seeing how one thing causes another thing and has an effect on something else will help you to tap into that inner knowing of what move to make. If I do this, how will it affect the whole? And that's how you move through your challenges. I also want to look inside the book for this one. This is card number 4. More about creativity, though. Okay, your creations are far-reaching and have positive effects on many. So do not doubt your ability to create. Make sure you are honest with yourself. Don't worry about if you'll be left out in the cold. Don't worry about if people will abandon you. If you don't try to control the situation by being what you believe people want you to be. Be unique. You don't need to hide who you really are to manipulate any results. If you're facing a challenging situation, stand tall in all your perfect imperfections. See yourself truly and allow the patterns of your life to be woven into the beauty meant for you and you alone. Keep in mind that if you do what you did, you'll get what you got. That's that cause and effect. Okay? The web remembers everything. So do something different this time and watch a miracle. Everything is connected. So don't think if you do one thing, it won't affect something else. Whatever challenge you're facing at this time, just stand in your power and listen to your intuition and follow that is what I'm hearing. That's what I'm feeling. How are you spiritually being upgraded at this time? So much white, fairy-like energy. Willow spirit, flexibility. How you're being upgraded at this time is the ability to be flexible. How you can flutter from one thing to the next, one environment to the next. You could go from the forest to the water and still you are able to flow. And I'm going to get you more insight on that card as well. That's from the Sacred Forest deck. The spirit of the willow says be flexible in your life. Be willing to bend rather than break. Be amendable to change and you will flourish in wondrous ways. So there are a lot of changes that are going to be coming towards you. And your spiritual upgrade at this time is giving you the ability to go with the flow, to be adaptable, to be able to be in one environment, in another environment, and in another one, and just surrender to the process of how things have to go. You can weather any storm. You can weather any of life's challenges. That's why your challenge gift here is to just be you. Stand in your authentic truth. And don't care who, or what is against you. Stand in your power. The willow was also sacred to poets. So we're seeing poetry for the third time. Maybe that's something you really need to focus on. Writing poetry at this time. The willow was thought to influence poetic expression, it says. And it's also been known as a tree of dreaming, inspiration, and enchantment. So be willing to bend, be willing to yield. Being able to do those things around any situation is what is going to be your spiritual upgrade at this time. So I feel like you're someone who's going to be able to be around any spiritual belief and still be able to be a part of that, to understand that. Wow. Bum, bum, bum. White is very significant. Maybe light yellows as well, or golds will be really make you feel like you are glowing. All right. What portal are you activating or is being open for you at this time? And we have Stargate Heart. Just about every one of these pals had to do with star ancestors. Heart chakra opening, unlocking generosity. So at this time, what did I say about all these hearts? Your heart chakra is being healed. It's being opened, not even healed. I think you passed the healing process. It's now unlocking, where maybe you kept it shut down. Now you're feeling more giving, more sharing of your love, more open to love, to receive it and to give it. And that is in itself a great blessing. I do feel like there's a lot of love coming your way. Like I was saying, be open, unlock that heart chakra, be open to receive it, because that is the portal that you are accessing at this time. It gives me a feeling of Emerald City, this card here, like you're stepping into Emerald City in the Wizard of Oz. Well, more so the Wiz is what I was visualizing. But yeah. I just feel like this pal is really on the move. There's a lot of things that are going to be shifting and changing in your life under this portal. With the activation of this portal, a lot of healing that's going on, and it's going to be done. Things are synchronized. Everything is going to be flowing in the way it's supposed to flow, and you're just going to be overjoyed and happy. You and a kindred spirit, I feel, are also coming together, or there is an ancestor or light spirit that just, you guys are just together forever and never to part, together forever with you. And don't you know I will move heaven and earth to be together forever with you. This power has me singing and dancing. But that's what I'm hearing from either a physical entity or spiritual entity about you. And your advice on how to use the energy of this portal to benefit you. Heart chakra of the woods. I didn't even remember this card. Love's all around you. What the? Stargate Heart. Heart chakra opening, and then your advice on how to use this energy for your benefit is the heart chakra of the woods. Are you kidding? There's nothing else I can say about that. Love's all around you. Keep your heart open. It's coming in. Wow. Wow, wow. So your last card, and that was your first card, is Angelic Vocal and Binaural Connections when Source Calls. And the card says, melodies carry spirits through heavenly gates, where the source of life and abundance awaits. Voices like harps and beats that awaken the chakras and reminds you to stay grounded as through portals you're taken. You got this card today because there's a way for you to self-heal and revel in the light of God on an even closer level. Angelic singing and or binaural beats will be beneficial for you to align your energy and connect to the heavenly energy of Source. And there you have it. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. This was so great. This tree energy tapping in. We're going to take 4 grounding breaths just to wrap this up. 4 tree grounding breaths. But I just want to say thank you, all of you, for letting me tap in today. This was amazing. Amazing readings. I hope they resonated with every one of you. If you don't stay for these last 4 grounding breaths, subscribe, like this reading, hit that notification bell, and just know that I love you. Peace, blessings, and all that good stuff that comes from being a part of my tribe. Okay, everyone. So just to wrap things up, I want to send you off feeling very grounded and connected. We're going to take 4 deep grounding breaths, but these aren't my usual steam breaths. These are what I call tree breaths. You can do it standing if you want, or seated. I'm going to do it seated right now. So you can sit, palms open on your laps, or since my group and I, my 5-month group, we've been tapping into our intuition, we were actually using hand positions that would activate the fire within us, the passion within us, because we were tapping into, I think yesterday, we were tapping into the energy of the full moon of Aries. So we chose the element of fire. So this is one of the hand positions. Okay, and you would put it here at the solar plexus. All right, so you can do this one, or you can just root, or you can even do the Anjali Mudra. This also helps bring down your blood pressure if you feel a little anxious, okay? Or just sit with palms open to receive. With your crystals at hand, you can burn a little sage. I already saged pretty much. I'll probably do it again when I finish, but I will grab my quartz and my citrine crystals. And the way the tree breath goes is you taking a deep breath through your mouth, and when you do, you feel as if you are, just visualize yourself taking in as much clean, pure air as you can into your lungs. And as you exhale, feel as if it's coming from your soul star chakra, that energy right above the crown, all the way down into your crown, down through your center, all the way down. And as you get to your feet, feel as if you're rooting to the earth. Okay? And as you're rooting, feel as if branches are starting to spread from above. And when you're taking that deep breath again, those roots go in even deeper. And as you exhale, those branches stretch out even further. And by the 4th breath, you should feel like a full, strong tree. And just relax in that energy. Okay? You'll feel very grounded and emotionally sound. Just let it all go. Every time you're rooting, just feel all your stresses, all your tension just going down, down, down those roots into Mama Earth's energy. No, it's not affecting her in a negative way. She takes that energy and she transmutes it into something positive and sends it right back up and out. Because the earth naturally recycles energy. Ready? So close your eyes. Taking a deep breath through your mouth. Exhale and start to feel yourself rooting. Feel that light energy going down through your body as your branches start to sprout. Taking another deep breath and feel yourself rooting even deeper. And exhale and feel your branches start to stretch out. Any kind of tree you visualize will do. Taking another deep breath as your roots stretch deeper towards Mama Earth's core. And exhale and just stretch your branches out. Beautiful branches full of leaves, any colors, flowers, fruits, whatever you want to see as you let go of any stresses or worries. And we take in one more deep breath, fully grounding into that Mama Earth energy and love and light. And exhale and just feel yourself blossoming and feeling resilient, beautiful, strong, and worthy of just being you. And when you are ready, you can either sit and just breathe in this energy of light and love you're receiving from Mama Earth and from nature and from the heavens above, or you can slowly return to your space by moving your feet slowly, rubbing the tops of your thighs, and slowly opening your eyes. And those of you that are still grounding, and to those of you who are now looking at me again, I say peace, sincere blessings, and all that good stuff. Love, abundance, prosperity, all of that good stuff that comes from being a part of my light tribe.